Hello and welcome all my dear students in this video tutorial once again. So today we will discuss about the respiratory system of the Scalodon. This Scalodon or dogfish is a purely aquatic organism, aquatic animal. So it depends only upon oxygen which is dissolved into the water for the respiration. So this organism can take the oxygen which is dissolved into the water by particular type of system of the gills. So the respiration of this organism takes place with the help of the gills. So gill is the respiratory organ in case of Scalodon. The gills having 5 pairs. These gills are present or protected in a pouch, and that pouch is called as gill pouch. They are having 5 gill pouches which are present either side in the lateral wall of the pharynx and behind the hyoid arch. These gill pouches are found behind the hyoid arch and nearer to the wall of the pharynx or having the connection with the pharynx. Each gill pouches is compressed anterior posteriorly. Suppose this is a gill pouch. This gill pouch is compressed from this both side, from the anterior side and posterior side. These gill pouches are compressed. It opens into the pharynx. These gill pouches are opens into these gill slits are opens or gill pouches opens internally into the pharynx, into the pharynx by interbranchial aperture. The internal opening of the gill pouch is called as interbranchial aperture, and to the outside by narrow vertical external branchial aperture for the gill slits. The outer opening of this gill pouches are called as gill slits. Two adjacent gill pouches are completely separated from each other by interbranchial or gill septum. Suppose this is the first gill, this one is the second gill. These two gill pouches are separated by septum, and that septum is called as interbranchial or gill septum. Then the inner or pharyngeal border of each gill septum is supported by cartilaginous visceral arch, which is also called as gill arch. This gill arch with its slender branchial rays can support the gill filaments, gill pouches, gill septum. Then this is the structure of the gill, structure of a single gill. The mucous membrane of septum is raised into numerous horizontal leaf folds called as gill lamellae. There is having two leaf-like structure that is called as gill lamellae or gill filaments. These gill filaments are richly supplied with the blood capillaries. These gill filaments are richly supplied with the blood capillaries. Each septum bears two sets of gill lamellae. Each septum having 2 pairs of gill lamellae. We can find in this diagram there is having posterior gill lamellae, also having anterior gill lamellae, like this. So each septum bears 2 sets of gill lamellae, one on its anterior face, and other on its posterior face. Each set makes a half gill. Suppose only one gill filament is present, that gill will be called as demibranch or hemibranch. That is incomplete gill, also called as incomplete gill. Suppose only one gill filament is present, gill lamella is present, that gill is called as demibranch or hemibranch. And if both the gill filaments, gill lamellae are present, that is called as a hollow branch. So here is the diagram of this diagram is of the hollow branch type of gill. Then that is the anterior gill lamellae, posterior gill lamellae. Then we see this diagram once again, we can find that the posterior demibranch, posterior gill lamellae, posterior demibranch, septum of the posterior branch has longer lamellae, as compared to the anterior gill demibranch. That is, the posterior demibranch of a septum has longer lamellae than those of the anterior demibranch. A gill pouch thus contains 2 demibranch belong to 2 adjacent gills. In Scalodon, interbranchial septum, this septum, interbranchial septum extend well beyond the gill lamellae, that can extend beyond the gill lamellae to form a flap. That forming a flap which is called as interbranchial flap, and this can protect gill as well as external gill slits. These flaps can protect the gill as well as external gill slits. Then mechanism of respiration. So how the mechanism of respiration takes place? How the respiration takes place? During respiration, water taken into the mouth passes through the internal gill slits, bathing the gill lamellae, and passes out of the external gill slits. So this is a simple process which takes place during the respiration. First of all, the water comes into the mouth, that can passes over the gills by bathing the gills, and out that water can be removed with the help of the external branchial apertures or external gill slits to the outside. The breathing movements can be takes place or completed. Breathing can be completed in two steps. First step is called as inspiration. Second step is called as expiration. These are the two steps of the respiration: inspiration and expiration. Inspiration means taking in oxygen, taking in water, taking in oxygen with incoming water, and expiration means remove carbon dioxide with the help of outgoing water. Then, so let's see these two main steps of the mechanism of the respiration. In that, first is the inspiration. So in this diagram, so this side, B side, here we can found the process of inspiration. What happens at the time of inspiration? A series of hypobranchial muscles and hypobranchial cartilage contract, and the gill arches expands, thus pulling down the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity and enlarges its cavity. That is simply what happens at the time of inspiration. Mouth is open. There is a particular type of cartilages and muscles, due to which this cavity of the buccopharynx, that is the cavity of the pharynx and buccal cavity, can be increased. At the same time, external gill slits are closed by the external branchial flaps. These external branchial flaps shut down or closes all the external gill openings, and due to which automatically the pressure of the here into the buccopharyngeal cavity is decreased, due to which the water rushes into the body with a wide open mouth. That is, this process is called as an inspiration. Taking in water, that is called as inspiration in case of Scorodon. This inspiration then followed by the second process, that is called as a expiration. What happens at the time of expiration? Exact reverse process takes place at the time of expiration. That is simply the water can be removed from the body. At the time of expiration, here we can found the expiration. At the time of expiration, mouth is closed. This cavity, the pressure is exerted over this buccopharyngeal cavity by the action of the adductor muscles. These adductor muscles are the muscles which is having the attachment with the lower jaw, with the mandibular muscle. These are also called as mandibular muscles, which are adjusted to the lower jaws, and these muscles are useful for the closing of the mouth. At the same time, the constrictor and interbranchial muscles contract, raising the floor of pharynx and reducing its volume. As a result, water is forced, the pressure is exerted in the buccopharyngeal cavity, and due to which the water is forced into the gill pouches. At the same time, these gill external branchial flaps are widely opened, and water comes out of the body by these apertures, by these gill slits towards the outside. At the same time, they can outgoing water the bathing of the gills takes place. This is the process of inspiration. Then in the next point about the physiology of respiration. Each gill lamella receives venous blood from afferent branchial arteries. So the gill lamellae are having two types of arteries, blood vessels, afferent branchial artery and efferent branchial artery. These are the two main arteries which is having the connection with the gills, afferent branchial artery and efferent or epibranchial artery. Afferent means towards and efferent from away. Afferent branchial artery and efferent branchial artery, these are two types of arteries which is found, which is connection with the gill lamellae, and during the passage of the blood through this network, it becomes oxygenated. The blood becomes oxygenated whenever at the time of inspiration and expiration. Within that time, the oxygen is with the help of the incoming water, oxygen which is taken by the body can be dissolved into the blood, and at the same time carbon dioxide can be removed from the body with outgoing water. Fresh seawater entering the gill pouches contain O2 dissolved in it, and O2 passes by diffusion through the thin membrane and permeable capillary walls into the blood. At the same time, carbon dioxide of the venous blood passes out by diffusion into outgoing current. So, this process is called as external respiration. External respiration means nothing but the exchange of water into the gill lamellae. This exchange of O2 and CO2 takes place in the gill lamellae, that is called external respiration. And the second process, which is called as internal respiration. At the time of internal respiration, here, as the oxygenated blood circulates through the body, its O2 is used by tissue to oxidize foodstuffs, and carbon dioxide thus formed is mixed to the blood, which is again become venous, and that process is called as the exchange of the O2 and CO2 here at the tissue level, that is called as the internal respiration. At the tissue level, oxygen and carbon dioxide is also exchanged, and that respiration is called internal respiration, and the exchange of the O2 and CO2 takes place at that is gill region, that is called external respiration. So with the help of the afferent branchial artery, the impure blood comes into the gill region, and with the help of the efferent branchial artery, the O2 oxygenated blood is then supplied or taken by the different blood vessels of these efferent branchial arteries and supplied to the various parts of the body. So this is all about the respiration, respiratory organs, and physiology of respiration of the Scorodon. So thank you for watching this video.